Saudi Aramco. Work Permit Receiver Exam Model Paper 2. Question and Answer Exam 2020. Total question and answer, 34. Passing marks 28 right answer or 80%. Question 1. What is the number one cause of confined space deaths? A. Explosive atmospheres. B. Oxygen-enriched atmospheres. C. Hydrogen sulfide poisoning. D. Oxygen-deficient atmospheres. Answer. C. Hydrogen sulfide poisoning. Question 2. Who is jointly responsible for the safety of people and equipment at site? A. The issuer and receiver. B. The safety officer and receiver. C. The receiver and other workers at the site. D. Gas tester and loss prevention. Answer. A. The issuer and receiver. Question 3. Why do we have a work permit system? A. To inform you of restricted areas. B. To authorize permission to leave work. C. Timekeeping purposes. D. To provide a safe workplace. Answer. D. To provide a safe workplace. Question 4. What is hold tags used for? A. To replace padlocks and lockout devices. B. For hot work. C. To explain reasons for locking out equipment. D. To isolate electrical circuit breakers. Answer. C. To explain reasons for locking out equipment. Question 5. When can a scaffolder use a welder's work permit? A. When they work on the same equipment at different times. B. If both the issuer and receiver agree. C. When the foreman gives his permission. D. Never. Answer. D. Never. Question 6. To whom the receiver can delegate, hand over the permit, when leaving the job site? A. Certified issuer. B. Supervisor or foreman. C. Senior craftsman. D. Certified receiver. Answer. D. Certified receiver. Question 7. What are two important reasons for using work permit? A. To communicate and control work. B. To track, control and manage emergency. C. To communicate to stop work. D. To track contractors' work hour. Answer. A. To communicate and control work. Question 8. A work permit lists on it. A. Maximum safety precautions. B. Government safety precautions. C. Minimum safety precautions. D. Offshore safety precautions. Answer. C. Minimum safety precautions. Question 9. Should be the first thing to do when receiver need work permit? A. Present his certification to issuer and request for required permit. B. Get tools ready. C. Shut off the circuit breaker. D. Do the isolation of equipment. Answer. A. Present his certification to issuer and request for required permit. B. Question. 10. What two things receiver must do before receiving a work permit? A. Take gas test and check scoot air pack. B. Extend the work permit and take gas test. C. Read the permit and agree to all conditions. D. Train the fire watch and renew the permit. Answer. C. Read the permit and agree to all conditions. Question. 11. Which section is considered as cornerstone in new work permit form? A. Joint site inspection. B. Hazard analysis checklist. C. Risk assessment. D. Job safety analysis. Answer. B. Hazard analysis checklist. Question. 12. Gas tests are conducted in confined spaces? A. To determine the correct temperature. B. Because all confined spaces have toxic gases. C. To determine the correct humidity. D. To determine if the space is safe to enter. Answer. D. To determine if the space is safe to enter. Question. 13. A work permit can be approved/issued for A. 8 hours. B. 30 hours. Circa 12 hours. D. 30 days. Answer. D. 30 days. Question. 14. What is checked in a gas test? A. Oxygen level, inert gas. B. Oxygen, flammable and toxic gases. C. Flammable gas, inert gas and heavy gas. D. Oxyacetylene, water vapors. Answer. C. Oxygen, flammable and toxic gases. Question. 15. At which level of oxygen, breathing apparatus is required? A. At 25%. B. Less than 20%. C. Less than 10%. D. Greater than 15%. Answer. B. Less than 20%. Question. 16. Flammable material storage areas cannot be located within of other buildings or structures. A. 25 feet. B. 50 feet. Circa 50 meters. D. 100 feet. Answer. B. 50 feet. Question. 17. Toxic flammable gases could be found in A. Excavations. B. Office buildings. C. Lakes or rivers. D. Elevators. Answer. A. Excavations. Question. 18. Workers must wear breathing apparatus if hydrogen sulfide, H2S, reading is A. Less than 10 parts per million. B. More than 10 parts per million. C. Less than 5 parts per million. D. More than 5 parts per million. Answer. B. More than 10 parts per million. Question 19. How many keys should there be for the padlock or lockout device? A. Only 1. B. 2 only. C. 1 for each of your workers. D. 1 for both the issuer and receiver. Answer. A. Only 1. Question 20. A workman is permitted to enter an atmosphere containing oxygen without wearing breathing apparatus. A 21%. B 4.3%. Circa 16%. D 12%. Answer. A 21%. Question 21. Where are work permits required? A. All Saudi Aramco areas. B. All restricted areas. C. All assembly points. D. All fenced areas. Answer. A. All Saudi Aramco areas. Question 22. If you are working on a job and smell gas, you should A. Stop work, get out of the area and notify the issuer. B. Conduct your own gas tests to find out what it is. C. Keep working, but shut down all ignition sources. Answer. A. Stop work, get out of the area and notify the issuer. Question 23. A major reason for conducting the joint site inspection is to A. Determine worker skills. B. Identify hazards and determine precautions. C. Check on work in progress. D. Check work permit certification cards. Answer. B. Identify hazards and determine precautions. Question 24. A work permit can be issued for A. 12 hours. B. 24 hours. Circa 8 hours. D. All of above. Answer. D. All of above. Question 25. The maximum voltage permitted for portable power tool is A. 110 volts. B. 220 volts. Circa 240 volts. D. 150 volts. Answer. A. 110 volts. Question 26. How far apart shall access, egress ladders be in excavation? A. 10 feet. B. 15 feet. Circa 25 feet. D. 50 feet. Answer. Circa 25 feet. Question 27. What is emergency? A. Fire. B. Gas leaks. C. Major injury. D. All the above. Answer. D. All the above. Question 28. For the use of a radioactive source only in a restricted area you would issue A. Hot work permit. B. Cold work permit. C. Release work permit. D. None, so long as the area is barricaded securely. Answer. A. Hot work permit. Question 29. Who install locks and tags first? A. Contractor. B. Power distribution. C. Operations. D. Electrical engineer. Answer. C. Operations. Question 30. Use a fire blanket or hand dig only are examples of what? A. Precautionary hazards. B. Hazards. C. Regular precautions. D. Additional precautions. Answer. D. Additional precautions. Question 31. When must the work permit be closed? A. After gas tests are taken. B. When the work is finished and the crew leaves. C. When the issuer leaves the work site. D. Before another permit is issued. Answer. B. When the work is finished and the crew leaves. Question 32. If a work permit is not issued during an emergency, what must be do? A. All safety precautions must be taken. B. Joint site inspection. C. Superintendent must approve. D. Wear Scott air packs. Answer. A. All safety precautions must be taken. Question 33. What hazard would you find when doing hot work? A. Auto ignition temperature. B. Ignition source. C. Ignition switch. D. Ignition point. Answer. B. Ignition source. Question 34. Why must equipment be de-energized and depressurized before work is started? A. Accidental startup could happen. B. Purge gas can be lost. C. Locks and tags will deteriorate. D. Gas tests are not accurate. Answer. A. Accidental startup could happen.
Please give comment and suggestions.
Thank you.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for more updates. Thank for visit our channel. See you next class.
Thank you.